Hello. Tonight I'd like to talk a little bit about marine care test kits. It's one of the crucial pieces of equipment you're going to be using. Um, and just particularly things that you're going to be learning about as you get into the marine and saltwater tank environment is that you're going to have lots of options presented to you. Usually in freshwater, the go-to kit is an API freshwater care test kit. They do make a saltwater care test kit, but you also have the options with marine or saltwater test kits for Red Sea, Sallyford, and some of those various Seachem and some of those other brands. Now, for freshwater, you may have gotten used to an API test care kit. But quite frankly, I'll be honest, I am not a fan of the API test kits. I started out actually with saltwater tanks, so I got very used and quite frankly very spoiled by my Red Sea test kit. And I ran into all kinds of problems when I finally did end up doing freshwater, the little 10-gallon glowfish tank kit I've got at my work, which I have the videos for also here on YouTube. But when I got the API freshwater test kit, which is very similar to their marine care test kit, I found a whole bunch of drawbacks and things that I quite frankly really miss for my Red Sea test kit. First and foremost, it does not come with a measurement syringe. So I'm not sure exactly what API expects you to do. If they expect you to dip the vials in the tank to get the sample, which is a really bad idea because technically after you've done it the first time, you've got residual caustic chemicals that are potentially mixing with your tank water. So what I did was I borrowed a 5 milliliter syringe from one of my new Red Sea test kits, and then I just added that to my freshwater care test kit at work. And then I came to the other realization of another problem. I measured out evenly 5 milliliters in the syringe, and I go and I put it in the API test vial, and guess what? It's short. So what ended up happening was I ended up putting in about another 1 to 2 milliliters, and it finally reached the 5 milliliter mark, when in fact it was actually about between 6 and 7 milliliters on my syringe. So either the syringe is lying or the API is lying, and in light of what I've learned about the API kits, I'd be inclined to say the API is lying. After this, I went and mixed up the various kits, for particularly when I was cycling my freshwater tank, and shook up, the ammonia and the nitrite kit test and the nitrate test. Probably the biggest single condemnation I can give to the API kits, and this is true both their freshwater and their saltwater test kits, they come with these cheesy, stupid little caps that do not seal. I couldn't believe how much came out because you have to shake them very vigorously in order to get accurate test results. I could not believe how much came out of the vial and splashed all over my hands, all over the floor. The chemicals are very caustic, so to get them on your skin is not the best thing, and yes, it did burn. So needless to say, I was really unhappy about that. I don't know what API was thinking when they did that, because there's no seal. It's just basically preventing the whole thing from coming out, but it doesn't prevent it from splashing out over the sides. In addition to that, the final straw for me was I went and I took a look at their nitrate test kit, and quite frankly, it's a joke. There's virtually no difference between 10 and 20 and the 40 and 80. which if you're wanting to stay on top of your nitrate tests, you're going to run into problems there, particularly with the marine test kit. And once again, the freshwater scale and the marine test scale on their API kits are the same. There's no difference there in terms of the coloration and measurements there. And in point of fact, I'm not the only one who's noticed this. Many other people, including many experienced reefers out there, have also agreed that the API test kit is horribly inaccurate for nitrates. Basically, it's good enough to tell you that you have nitrates or that your nitrates are off the chart. That's about all the API test for nitrate is good for. Their ammonia test isn't too bad. Their nitrite test isn't too bad in terms of accuracy. But the nitrate test is just a joke, and quite frankly, that's probably the one you're going to use the most, whether it be a freshwater application or a saltwater application. You're going to be using your nitrate test, because usually the ammonia and the nitrite, once your tank's done cycling, whether it be freshwater or saltwater, you're probably not going to deal with it unless there's something going really wrong with the tank. So for my personal recommendation, particularly for marine test kits or whatever, I'm a fan of the Red Sea. Some people like the Saltwater, or some like the Seachem varieties, and a couple of others. But realistically, if you're looking to get into saltwater and you're just looking for a good, solid, all-in-one kit, I would highly recommend Red Sea over the API, just because those two seem to be the most commonly complete marine care test kits that are available. In addition to that, the Red Sea test kit generally is more expensive, but as I pointed out all the faults for the API in this video, in my opinion, it's more than worth the cost. The other thing, of course, there's one other thing I will add. The Red Sea test care kits have shorter, wider vials, so they are much easier to clean than these super tall, skinny not Red Sea, but API vials, which, for you to thoroughly rinse them out and then try and find a way to, get a paper towel or something in there to wipe them out is a real trick. Whereas with the Red Sea vials, it's a lot easier for me to just kind of, feed a paper towel through the opening there, get it down in there, and then just wipe it out. And it dries it and kind of cleans it out all at once, which makes it a lot easier. So once again, my personal recommendation for the marine care test kits, if you want to get an all-in-one test kit for starting out and for long-term use, I would say that the Red Sea is probably, in terms of bang for buck, it's probably one of the best options out there. Or you can go with one of the other ones mentioned, but they tend to come in individuals like the Saltwater or Seachem or whatever. So anyways, that's all I've got for that, and thanks for watching.